There's military everywhere. You have to be careful with filming. Like every once in a while we'll kind of duck our cameras away because we're sketched out whether people will find us. So we just made it into...
Where is Transnistria?
Down, down, down.
As we're leaving just now, Mark and I decided to film the Parliament building, driving past a military compound. Right as we pass, these two guys in an unmarked car beep their horn and are pointing like that at our driver. And I thought for a second that they were telling us to pull over because they saw us filming the Parliament building. Mark and I almost had a heart attack. Mark, how do you feel about that? That was scary. So we are coming to you live from Chisinau, Moldova. We came to Moldova with the intention to go to Transnistria, the country that is in between Moldova and the Ukraine, but we got denied entry into the country.
So when we got to the border, we were trying to hide my bag, which had our drone in it and some other camera equipment. We buried my bag deep within the car, and of course when they ask us to open the trunk and start checking our bags, my bag is the first one they check. They bring me up into a room separate from everybody else, have me open it, display out everything.
Mark comes back to the car and they're going through all of Mauna's bags. They pull me out of the car, they go through all of my bags, and then all of a sudden 3 border patrol agents come back down to the car and tell us to get out and come with them.
So they take all 3 of us upstairs, and there's 2 new agents now there who are dressed in street clothes, and they're taking diligent notes in a notepad. And then they start asking us questions about everything you can possibly imagine. They keep going in and out of this room, having conversations on the phone, coming back out, having conversations on the phone. And we're like, what is happening?
We're being interrogated for probably 2 hours in this tiny little room with about 5 border patrol agents thinking, like what more information could they possibly want? Like our blood type is ridiculous. One of the border patrol agents comes out of the door and says, fortunately you are not allowed into the country because you are required to have accreditation if you're going to film, if you're a production crew.
So we decided we're just not even gonna risk it. Let's go straight back into Chisinau.
We were advised that not only were we allowed to go into the country and film, that we couldn't film at all in the country. We couldn't take any kind of videos, we could only take pictures.
So as we were leaving, I had the brilliant idea that what if we did drop all of our equipment, come back just ourselves, why don't we film everything on our iPhones?
We're probably gonna have to be pretty stealth about how we film on our phones inside Transnistria.
We have no idea how this is gonna go, and we could get arrested again, and we could get detained. Anything is possible at this point.
Fingers crossed we make it through the Transnistrian border guards into the country.
So, I think this is going to be the most sad thing I'll ever have to do. And Ricky's here for this as well. That's all my camera gear, my drone, my camera, my GoPro. Unfortunately, that's all going in a drawer today. I think one of the things that makes this most interesting to go back into Transnistria is because we got denied. So, here we go.
Approaching the border right now of Moldova and Transnistria. Let's try this again. So I was reading about Transnistria. If you want to get a taste of what the Soviet Union was like, that Tiraspol, Transnistria is probably the best place to do it still. You can kind of tell all the Soviet era like buildings, and
Looks like a city lost in the 80s and 90s.
it does, absolutely. It looks like it's been frozen in time. Хорошо. Спасибо. Hey Mark, where are we at right now?
We are in Transnistria right now. This is crazy.
So we just got into Tiraspol, and we got out right in front of the Parliament building, which we've been told that you're not supposed to film or take photographs of. But yeah, this is insane. That's the Parliament building right there that we're not supposed to shoot. It's wild crossing the border into Transnistria and seeing all these Russian military convoys and outposts all over the city. Yeah, this place is wild. So to give you guys an idea of where we are right now, Transnistria is a breakaway state from Moldova, located between Moldova and the Ukraine.
They have their own border, they have their own currency, they have their own military. To be in a place that has 300,000 people, that's the size of Dallas, it's just a whole different country from Moldova. It's technically in Moldova, but you get the sense of the Russian influence.
How's that pickle, Mark? We're eating some kind of wiener dog.
So after the market, we heard that barely anybody, actually nobody spoke English, and now that's absolutely true. There wasn't a single person there that spoke English.
Yeah.
So we had to kind of do the broken Russian thing. And
Russian's fun.
Russian is fun. I really want to learn Russian.
Yeah.
Да.
Спасибо.
Да.
That's all we know. We know how to say yes a bunch of times.
Вы говорите по-английски?
Да.
Я не понимаю по-русски. After the USSR collapsed, Moldova gained independence as an independent state, and Transnistria, who self-identified as Russian, predominantly Russian-speaking region, created their own state. The conflict broke out, I believe, in 1990. Independence was declared around 1992. So it's a very young nation or state here, which is why when you're going through the border, there's heavy, border guards and border protection when you're going into Transnistria because they are a self-identified state, self-recognized state. But when you're leaving Moldova, Moldova considers Transnistria to be a part of the Greater Moldova state. So therefore, going back into Moldova is relatively easy.
And also, I'm going to say the reason I'm also looking over my shoulder a bunch is there is a lot of military presence here, both Russian and Transnistrian, and we have to be very careful because we're told that you're not allowed to film. So we're kind of in a quiet park right now filming, so we can kind of tell you the history of Transnistria, but obviously we're trying to be cognizant of the military presence and not trying to get in trouble or arrested. And that's our main goal in life, is to not be in Transnistrian jail.
We're crossing the DOESN. We're crossing the river right now that runs through the city. Being here and filming is really intense. There have been several cars and vans that have been going by really slowly. We're walking right along the border near Parliament, which we've explained that you can't take photos or videos.
There's a huge statue of Lenin, and you can tell that's kind of strange, if we're going to be honest, to see that statue.
I think this place is awesome. We're in Transnistria in a very interesting time because Putin just won the presidential election again by a landslide. And so as we're driving, trying to go into Transnistria yesterday, our driver is saying like, Putin, good president, good president. And so automatically you know where in the world you are. Never vlogged on my phone before. I'm sure Mark's having a grand old time with it too.
It's definitely one of those places that you question, where am I on this planet right now?
This place is pretty unique, being here in Transnistria. I haven't been to Russia, but I imagine this is what Russia feels like. Everything's written in Cyrillic and got Russian Orthodox churches and monasteries, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's just been pouring down snow here. Nana's over here taking a nap.
So we just made it out of Transnistria with our footage and with all our appendages.
We made it.
We did it. Heyo.
Also, I just filmed a little bit of the border control. So.
You did? You're bad. That's awesome.